Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today we are playing my Deck of TBR game for March. I can't believe it's almost March. That means it is almost middle grade March, where we read middle grade books for the entire month. I'm also hoping to participate in Realmathon. I am on Team Stingers. I will link all of these readathons and the creators of them down below for you to check them out if you're interested. But Realmathon is a competitive team-based readathon where we get points for our team and take away points from other teams by reading books. And like I said, middle grade March, we just read middle grade together and love on that genre or age demographic a little bit. I can't wait to figure out what I'm reading. Like in past years, my March Deck of TBR game is a little different because I am wanting to get as many middle grade on here as possible. So if I draw a card and that helps choose a prompt that I can't fulfill with a middle grade book, I will draw again and add a draw so that I can get as many middle grade books on here as possible. I went to the library this morning. I am set with middle grade, flush with middle grade to choose from, and I just am so excited. We're going to play my game first, and then I will see if any of the books I get can fit into the prompts that the ladies from Middle Grade March have set for us. Otherwise, I don't have any cares for March besides enjoying my reading. I guess I should check on the buzzword. Okay, the buzzword for March is thing, the word thing in the title, and the buzz cover needs to have books on the cover, so that could probably happen. We'll see. Resetting the board. We always got to change our bomb book. We're going to hope that doesn't come. We're not getting a Joker. No bad vibes for the Joker. The Water Dancer is the choice. We're going to see how well my camera can focus today. We don't have any to replace here because our last card must have been a face card. As for the face card prompts, I'm going to do myself a solid and choose the ones that I know I have middle grade books for. So book of the month is off the table. I do have borrowed middle grade books, so borrowed book is going to go in the king slot. Definitely have middle grade series that I can continue, so I'm adding series to the queen spot. And I do have at least one self-destruct book that's a middle grade, so if we get a jack, we will use that one and hope that's the only jack we get. Oh, before we start playing, I did this in a little reverse order. Normally we do the TBR from last year, or last month. Woof. Can you tell I'm on drugs? Just kidding. I am taking something for the sinus stuff that's going on. Anyway, let's chat about last month's TBR. February Deck of TBR. I had a patron pick, and I can't remember which patron, but they chose Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I have not read this yet. However, it is my patron buddy read book club book for the month, and so I need to read it, and I want to read it. So it will get done. I'm filming a little early. It's the 18th today, so we've got 10 days. Then I had to read a book on my Kindle. I did read the majority of Cast on my Kindle, so I'm counting that as a win. This is by Isabel Wilkerson. Awesome book. Then my husband picked Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, and I did complete that. Next up, I had to pick a mystery, and I chose Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto, and I did complete that. And lastly, I had to choose a self-destruct book, and I chose Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. I'm maybe like a fourth of the way through that one, and it's so short that I think my last week of February, after mini Deck of TBR-a-thon, I will focus on Open Water and Magnolia Parks. So I'm counting it as a win. Not adding any extra draws because, oh wait, that's not even my rule. My new punishment is that I have to choose books for my TBR. Well, that's just not going to work with all the middle grade I want to get to. So we're saying I won, and I will win. Don't worry, I'll read all of those books. Now we can get to the cards and play the game. Like I said, I just want to read middle grade and love what I'm reading in March. So those are my hopes. Let's see what the cards can give us. card number 1 is a 4 of diamonds. Oh, interesting. Okay. Last letter to first letter. So, because I haven't picked a book yet, I'm going to choose the last book that I chose from February's Deck of TBR, which was Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. So R has to be the first letter of the book I choose for this prompt. So let's see what we can find. Okay, I had 2 options, Restart by Gordon Corman and Rump, The True Story of Rumpelstiltskin by Liesl Shirtliff, and I am going to choose Restart by Gordon Corman. I'm actually hoping to buddy read this with a patron and friend, Brandy, so I think this one's about a boy who can't remember anything. He fell off the roof, and now he can't remember a thing, so I don't know. I like Gordon Corman. I've read from him in the past and enjoyed him, so looking forward to Restart. We'll replace the 4 of diamonds with this one, a one-word title. And we'll put the 4 of diamonds back in and shuffle for draw number 2. I'm remembering March TBRs of the past, and I'm pretty sure we've gotten 10 books on those TBRs, but maybe this time around I can get everything to fit. But let me tell you, I will be reading more than 5 books if that's all that the game gives us. All right, card number 2, a 9. Oh no, that's an 8. I can read 8 of Hearts. Oh, okay. It's epistolary. And I just have the perfect middle grade for this. It's called Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth by Sheila O'Connor. This is one I've been wanting to read for the last like 2 or 3 middle grade marches and never gotten to it. This is an epistolary book set against the backdrop of Vietnam. One young girl writes to an older gentleman, and it sounds perfect. So this is going on for book number 2 for the epistolary prompt. And like I said, maybe I didn't say this. I couldn't find it at the library, but I will request it so that I can have the physical copy. We'll replace that one with low rating and put the 8 of Hearts back in and shuffle. Oops. Sometimes my shuffles don't go as planned. All right, one more for good measure. And card number 3 is another 8. Okay. Yes, I believe it's my rule that if I draw 2 numbers right in a row that are the same, I add another. So we will be doing 6 draws instead of 5. An 8 of diamonds is, one I've seen on BookTube. So let me think about that, because I'm sure most of these I've seen, especially following the middle grade March girls. So let me check. Okay, so the one I am choosing is Moon Garden by Michelle A. Berry. This is actually the middle grade March buddy read that we will be reading together and discussing at the end of the month. Obviously, I saw it on BookTube through the announcement video from the hosts of middle grade March, but this is the first in a series, and it is a retelling, but with a sci-fi twist, of The Secret Garden. So I'm hoping to read this as well as The Secret Garden in the month of March so that I can discuss that with the middle grade March participants. But yes, looking forward to this sci-fi version of The Secret Garden. We'll replace the 8 of diamonds with this one. Random number on Goodreads. Ooh, that one's scary. And we'll put the 8 back in and shuffle. This is going well so far. We're able to get middle grade books on. So, all good things. Here we go. Draw number 4 is a Jack. Okay, Jack, if I remember correctly, yep, is a self-destruct book. So, my one middle grade that I have on the self-destruct TBR is the first in the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. This is The Trials of Morrigan Crow. And I don't know which is the title of the series and which one's the title of the book, but this is the first in the Nevermore series. I've heard that if you love like Harry Potter and maybe Keeper of the Lost Cities, you would love this. It just sounds like a magical, fun time about some young people. And this is the first in a series, but I'm still looking forward to trying it out. And I just realized that was our third diamond, so we're going to add a 7th draw. I'm really not mad because I want a lot of books. I can read middle grade so fast, and I want a lot of books in March. All right, with no prompt to replace, we'll just put that jack right back in there. And we'll shuffle for our 5th book out of 7. This is like the only month you'll hear me excited about adding extra books to the TBR. One more for good measure. And let's see what we get. Another jack. That's the exact same card. Okay, well, we're just gonna kill all the birds with one stone. I'm gonna say that I'm not choosing this because I don't have a middle grade to fulfill it anymore. Nevermore was the only middle grade on my self-destruct TBR. So we're actually going to say can't do this, add 2 extra draws, but also because this is the exact same card that we already drew, adding a 3rd draw, which means 7 plus 3, we're at our top amount of draws, 10. Ha! Great, so we'll put this back in and we'll redraw for the 5th book. And just do 10 draws no matter what. I jinxed myself when I said every TBR in the past for Marches, for the months of March, have had 10 books. So that's okay. I'm fine. I'm good with it. Let's see, a 10 of diamonds. We cannot get away from the diamonds. Young adult. Well, sure. I feel like middle grade, young adult, we're going to say they live in the same world, and I'm going to choose something. I read the first book in this series in January and loved it and would love to continue, so I am putting Out of My Heart by Sharon M. Draper. I know this is about kind of a 6th grader. She might be 7th grade in this book, so I'm counting that as young adult, middle grade. But this is about Melody, who is a wonderful, amazing young lady who has cerebral palsy and has never been able to communicate. In the first book, she gets a computer where she can finally communicate with others what she is thinking and feeling. And now we continue on with her story in the second. So this is Out of My Heart by Sharon M. Draper. We'll replace that with this one, a Kindle book. And wait, I have 2 of those prompts. I don't need that one. Let's do it again. This one, classic. I actually do have some middle grade classics in mind if we happen to draw this 10 of diamonds again. But we'll shuffle it in nice and good. And pick our 6th card. Or at least the card for our 6th book. Who's keeping track anymore? Me, I should be. All right, one more for good measure. And let's see, a 5 of hearts. We have gotten all red cards today. A librarian pick. Okay. We can do this. We can do this. Give me a moment. First of all, I am a librarian. At least I work at a library, so I could just pick something I want. But there is this award in Minnesota called the Maud Hart Lovelace Award, and she was a librarian, really big in Minnesota, and she has like a elementary aged contest, 10 books that go head to head and kids can vote, and then there's also the middle grade young adult category. I happen to have all of them from my school library out right now, and so I'm going to pick one of those. I just have to decide which one. I'm going to give myself a little bit of help here and do a graphic novel, but it is up for the Maud Hart Lovelace Award. So this is Frizzy by Clarabelle Ortega and art by Rose Busamra. And here's the art style. Should be super cute. But it says Marlene loves three things: art, her cool tia Ruby, and hanging out with her best friend, Camilla. But according to her mother, Paula, the only things she needs to focus on are school and growing up. And then I think there's something about having frizzy hair, and she needs to have presentable and good hair. So this should be great. I'm excited to get to it. It's been staring at me from a display for the entire school year, and now I'll finally get to say I've read it. Let's replace that prompt with this one. Video project. Don't have many of those going right now. All right, we'll put the 5 of hearts back in and shuffle. I feel like we've been playing for so long and we only have 6 books. So, let's keep going. Keep the momentum going. All right, draw for book number 7. A 7 of hearts. Of course it's another red. 7 of hearts. The most recent release. I have one. Because it's a fairly recent release and I want to get it on the TBR. So this is Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Alston. This is the 3rd in the Amari and the Great Game series. I don't think that's actually what it's called. But again, 3rd installment. Oh, Supernatural Investigations. I've read the first 2, I think, for middle grade marches in the past, and looking forward to finishing out this series in March. All right, let's replace, oops, dropping prompts. Replace that one with 2 plus people on the cover. Put the 7 of hearts back in. And shuffle for book number 8. Holy moly. That's how my daughter says it. Holy moly. Anyway, one more for good measure. Card number 8. Now, tell me why we keep getting the same numbers and the same suits. 7 of diamonds. Oh dear. Continue a series. Of course I will. That's easy. Is it though? Is it easy? I have a couple options. I'm wanting to continue the Anne of Green Gables series by L.M. Montgomery. This is Anne of Avonlea. Or I've got Class Act by by Jerry Craft. It's the New Kid series. I also would love to just finish out the Out of My Mind series. So we could do that. Decisions. I'm going to help myself out again and put another graphic novel on here. Class Act is the second one in the New Kids series. I feel like if I read either of the other 2, it would likely be on audio, and so I want to put a physical on here with a graphic novel. Does that make sense? Sure. Okay, Class Act, going on. Let's replace the 7 of Diamond prompt with this one. 4 plus word title. And we'll put the card in. Shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle. For book number 9. Ah! Nuts. All right, here we go. Oh, finally. Oh, but it's a jack. We're just going to redraw. An 8 of hearts. Because we always get red cards. 8 of hearts. Oh, a book with a low rating. I think we just put that one on here. Let's do some research quickly. Gotta pull out the good reads. The good reads. That's what I was going to say. The good old Goodreads and see. Unfortunately, middle grade has really high ratings on everything. Ah! If I can find anything in the 3s, I'm going to choose it. But I can't. Okay, I had to completely turn off the camera and search for a long time. I couldn't find any middle grades that were less than a 4, believe it or not. So I went to what I needed for buzzword, and the word was thing. I happened to have a self-destruct book with the word thing in the title, and it was a 3.76, so cut me some slack. It was the lowest rating that I searched today. So we've got Things We Lost to the Water by Eric Nguyen. Haven't heard anything about this. I don't know anything. a stunning debut novel about an immigrant Vietnamese family that settles in New Orleans and struggles to remain connected to one another as their lives are inextricably reshaped. I don't know. I don't have super high hopes, but it's always nice to get at least one adult novel in the mix of Middle Grade March, so we'll see what we think of it. We're at 9 books, which means we've got one more. Let's replace the 8 of Hearts with this one, swap. So I can swap anything if I get it. Will I get an 8 of Hearts again? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. Although, knowing my luck, watch it come up. One more. For good measure. What do we get? A Queen! A Queen is a series. Okay, I'm going to put Out of My Dreams by Sharon M. Draper. This is the 3rd and final in the Out of My Mind series, and I just love to finish up series as much as I can this year. So we're adding that one on, and that'll be our 10th book. Woohoo! Okay, shall we recap? I have the stack. I don't think I can remember all of them. Let's see if I can, though. We'll test my memory. From last letter to first letter, we chose Restart by Gordon Corman. Then, actually, in between these two, we got an epistolary prompt, and I am going to read Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth by Sheila O'Connor. Next up, we had to pick a book I saw on BookTube, and I chose Moon Garden by something Berry. What is it? Michelle A. Berry. Then I had a self-destruct book. I chose Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. What was next? I can't remember. Oh, a young adult. So I chose Out of My Heart by Sharon M. Draper. Then a librarian pick. I chose Frizzy by... Sorry, I'm so bad with authors tonight. Claribel Ortega and Rose Basamra. For a most recent release, I picked Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Alston. Then I had to continue a series, so I chose Class Act by J. Kraft. Then a low rating, I chose Things We Lost to the Water by Eric Nguyen. And lastly, I had to read a book in a series, and I chose Out of My Dreams by Sharon M. Draper. Crazy. I just knew we'd have 10 books, and I'm looking forward to them. Let me know if you have read any of these and what you thought of them. If you liked them, if you didn't, I'd love to have some bookish conversation down with you in the comments. Also, let me know if you're participating in Middle Grade March or Realmathon or any other readathon in March. I love chatting books, so let's do that below in the comments. Popping in quickly to tell you what prompts I'm reading all of these for. So I'm going to try to remember the Middle Grade March prompts. The first was an author with 3 names. And naturally, none of those have 3 names in the author name. Of course not. Why not add more books? We'll choose Fish in a Tree by Linda Mullally Hunt. This was almost one I chose for the YA prompt, but we'll add it in here. It's a book I have borrowed from a friend, and I'd like to get it back to her. So this will be for the author with 3 names. Then it was Flowers on the Cover, I believe, and for that one, we might as well just slot in Moon Garden. There was also the prompt, continue a series. We've got a lot of series. I'll put in Amari. A book written in the 1900s, I think, was one. I'll probably slot in either Anne of Avonlea or The Secret Garden, because that's an older book. Involves travel. We're going to assume that there's at least some moving around in Nevermore. Morgan awaits her fate. A remarkable man named Jupiter appears, whisking her away into the safety of a secret magical city called Nevermore. So she travels from her hometown to Nevermore. We'll call this as travel. Okay, that's a 5. Back to the regular video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!